So, my name is Bruce Lucas. I'm a local black business owner here in the city of Richmond, Virginia, and I focus my services on financial services. So, all of your life insurance, stock needs, mutual funds, debt watches, all that good stuff. I'm here to help.
Okay. And I'm Valerie Bell, and my company is Live Network. I'm a black business owner as well, and I specialize in marketing, mentoring, and media. And you are watching the live segment, Love
First one.
Yourself. The first one,
That's
yes,
right.
the first one. Love yourself, value everything. That's what this is. And today's topic, we're talking about discovering your ideal self.
Absolutely.
And whatever that means to you, but we're gonna go in depth to it, but particularly focus on the entrepreneurship aspect of it. So, I guess first things first is you got to find out what you love to do, and that's a lot of personal digging. You got to get to know yourself, but I think the biggest question is when you wake up in the morning, what do you actually love to do? Like, what makes you happy? What makes you smile when you're doing it? What can you do and it doesn't ever feel like work? Once you kind of find that, then you have something. You can kind of go to the next steps of pursuing your dreams if you want it to become a part of your dreams. You want it to be your career.
Absolutely too important.
Absolutely.
That is the first step to actually becoming anything. First steps when you learn how to walk. First steps when you learn how to drive. You got to know where you're going. And you got to know what you're doing it for. So absolutely, I agree with you.
Your goals, your passion. You got to figure out whether or not you are goal-oriented, if you are a passionate person, if you are driven, if you are ambitious. And once you know, like I said, what you love to do, then you figure out the type of person that you are. The type of person you are will dictate whether you're going to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, or anything along those lines.
Absolutely. As like you said, when we get started, you really have to focus on what it is that it is you're trying to achieve, your goals, short term, long term. Those are what you set out to accomplish when you decide to take on the business world. Like we discussed earlier, the big part of what I kind of run into people who are looking to start a business is they lack a direction, and that's not a bad thing. It's just that they have so many ideas, they're not sure exactly how to go about starting on them, and that's common. That's normal. We're human beings, so that's never an issue. But when you find it, that's the beauty part. It's a long, hard way to go, but it's absolutely worth the time and effort for you to discover what it is that's going to help you be as successful as you need to be. Now, like you and I learned, when you start your own business, there's a lot of rocky stuff ahead of you, and that's just how it goes. But with when you understand your pluses and your minuses, your weaknesses, your strengths, then that kind of dictates the way you're going to go from now on. So, for instance, a lot of people that I run into that haven't yet made the push but are talking about starting their own business, they really have to classify where they are, and that
yes, the cash flow quadrant.
Right, exactly, the cash flow quadrant.
Yes.
And once you get a better understanding of that, you get a better understanding where you're going to go or where you want to be.
So what is the cash flow?
Well, the cash flow quadrant is pretty basic. What it does is kind of help you as an individual understand where you fit in the overall market of what's happening. So in the business world. So for instance, there's an employee.
Okay.
Employees basically trade hours for dollars. They're wage setters, or they work within the confines of a wage. Hours for dollars,
Okay.
money for time, those kinds of things. Then of course you have your business owners who have kind of done that more, but they have a lot more control over their income and the time that they make, because they are that person. They don't work for anybody else. They work for themselves. So a 12-hour day or a 4-hour day, those hours are spent invested in them, and that's always good. Again, and some people work better in an employee setting. That's okay too. Then you have what you call your people who run a business, who actually have taken the time to invest and start up a business where a system's in place where they don't have to work all of the gears and the knobs and everything and still receive an income.
They're hired. They pretty much have hired other people. They're not just self-employed entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
They actually are a business owner. They own a business. They hire people. They're paying people. They can come in and out. They're pretty much managing the situation at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what's good is the effort that you spend is almost, I guess the best word is compounded, because if I'm working and say you're working for me, then the profits, of course, are there better. Now, do I have to be there to work it with you? Absolutely not. Do you have to be there to work it with me? No, and we can still pretty much come with the same effect. And then after that, you get what's called your investor. Now, investors are pretty much the smarter. They've understood that it takes, that the money that they receive, they kind of invest that and make that work for them.
Okay.
So they don't have to worry about, you know, time for dollars, or, you know, me and you inside of the cog. They have sent their money to work for them, and if you're in a position to do that, absolutely, that's one of the main goals that you would.
And I found that most investors have gone through the process of being an employee, they've been self-employed, and then they move to the business owner, and then they become an investor.
It's almost like the end game.
It is pretty much you don't have to follow it. If you can figure out a formula or a way to go straight from business owner to investor, more power to you. But
Yes.
in order to really understand what you do love to do, the entrepreneurship aspect, finding your passion, will help get you to that place of being a business owner and
Absolutely.
investor. And I think that's where most people want to be, if you really understand who you are.
Who you are.
If
you know?
you're a person that likes structure and likes security, I might say that being a business owner or entrepreneur is not probably the best for you, simply because every day that you wake up, you have to create your own dollars.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, that's stressful. But if you love that, the unlimited potential of money that you can make every single day by being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, then you start having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's, again, why the topic is discovering your ideal self.
Yes.
It's knowing who you are. If you are a person that likes security, if you are a person that enjoys artistic things, if you're creative, if you're innovative, you don't want to be fit, you don't want to be put in a box, or you like boxes.
Right.
You like a structured, sit at the office type job.
Yes.
Figure that out.
It's
you know?
easy, because there's security in working, you know, a 9 to 5, 5-day-a-week position. You know exactly when you're going to start. You know exactly where you're going to be. Those are great. You know, it works for some people. You know, and then the next step to that is, how much money are you making to do that? You know, you know, there's some people who can work at a desk and make $100,000. You know,
And more power to
rare
you.
that
More
that
power
happens,
to
but
you.
it can happen. But on the entrepreneurial side, where you take, you know, you grab that thing by the horns and try to understand, like, look, I'm worth more than that. You know, I'm worth more than $50,000. You know, I'm worth more than, you know, $25,000 or whatever it is. I'm worth more than the cap that you're gonna put on me in order to determine my worth. Those to some people, that's a sin. You're not supposed to do that. I am that valuable. You know what I mean? You can't put dollars on my immediate value, because for me, I'm worth $10 million a minute.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
And
what I believe in, and I'm going to go out there and get it. I made a decision that I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make my own destiny. That's just how that goes. Some people, though, realize that, all right, well, that sounds great, but you know, my own self-assessment says that, all right, well, I probably wouldn't be as good as that, and that's okay. But just realize that, you know, there's caps. Do you want to take them off? You know, are you willing to, you know, break through those glass walls, glass ceilings, glass walls, whatever the case may be, and go ahead and determine your self-worth for the rest of your life? Those people are to be saluted when they actually do it, because it is tough.
It is
tough.
extremely tough.
You know?
I always started with an idea. Everything that you see in existence around you, even if you just look around right now, somebody thought of it first, then they spoke about it, and then they acted upon it, and then they created it. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Bruce.
Anytime.